Good morning. So I'm getting ready to vend my first reptile show since my store closure this weekend. I'm pulling stuff together. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'll take you along for the ride. Let's get it. It's pretty rainy outside, which I actually really like a lot. Seeing the water dripping off plants, and yeah, it's kind of feels like renewal to me in the most awesome way. I've been sorting through my shed a bit already this morning. uh, I kind of, when I closed my store, put everything away and just stopped paying attention to it, but it's time to get back to the work that I was doing. So sorting through the stuff in here is not exactly light work, but it has to be done. Let me show you. This is one of the enclosures that was in my store. I was storing it in the shed, but a neighborhood cat likes to occasionally break into my shed and broke through the roof of this guy. I've already sorted and pulled some stuff out, but I have a few more enclosures here from the store that couldn't fit inside of my house. A few glass enclosures back there. And I already pulled out some product that I'm going to bring with me. I have my tub of vermiculite. I'm going to bring in some egg containers, a few other things. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all these things out, and then I'll show you the things I'm thinking about bringing with me for the weekend. These last 7 months since my store closed has really been about just understanding what sorry, I probably sound horrible. I was pouring a light bulb. Just understanding, what do I want to do next, and what do I want my life to look like. Losing my store was so rough, and especially since it was just something so silly, as an arbitrary city policy that led to us having to close. 1 second, I'm screwing in a light bulb. A lot about that was super anger inducing for me. And while I understand why certain laws and policies exist within city structures, the one that led to us having to close was just stupid, to be frank. But over these last 7 months, like figuring out what recuperation looks like for me and understanding what I want the SHAP to be moving forward. It's also included doing stuff like revamping enclosures, really setting my animals up well. There were a few animals that had to come from the store to my house, and they weren't my pets. They were the store's animals to be sent to really good homes. But the ones that were left when it was time to close the doors had to come home with me. That kind of sent my personal reptile crew into a little bit of disarray. So, a part of this 7 month process, a part of my healing from all of these things, is also getting my animals resituated in a way that when I look at it, it feels really good to me, in that they have more than what they need, all the things that I can meet within their care requirements, so that I can give them a life as comfortable as I possibly can within this captivity setting. So I set this enclosure up for one of my favorite lizards. His name is Patches. All right, let's start prepping. So I have a bunch of things in bins here, and I have my main show prep already in the garage, which are in these really big bins, and it makes traveling to and from stores to and from shows a little bit easier. Over the years participating in shows, I've really dialed in my system that makes going to the shows easier. But because of the store closure and me storing away things at my house wherever I could. There's a lot of things that I would like to bring with me that are just kind of not in that setup of things. So I need to sort through this stuff, see what I can bring, see what I want to bring, and all of that. Now, because the cat went in my garage, or went into my shed, it opened the door, so some things got like a little rained on. So things like this, of course, I'm not gonna bring to the show. I'll knock those out as damaged. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to sorting, pulling things out. Awesome. Yeah, it's always a tug of war to figure out what am I gonna bring with me, right? I don't want to bring too much stuff where it's just like too much to handle, too much to sort through. But I also want to make sure I'm not missing out on potential sales because I didn't bring enough product. Shows like this though are really great because it's local. It's like maybe 30 minutes from my house. So I don't have to pack so heavy on the front end. And if I find I need something that I didn't bring along with me, or I didn't bring enough along with me, I can always come home and get more for the next day of the show. So it's actually a pretty perfect system. Another thing, life change that happened for me in the last 7 months was at the same time that my store was closing, my partner of 5 years broke up with me. And normally she is with me for every show, helping, like we used to jokingly call her my unpaid intern. But this will be the first show that I'm vending completely solo, and it makes me nervous, but I think it's important for it to be this show. It's local, it's close to home, it's smaller. So before it's time for the reptile super shows and all of those things, I can at least get a feel for what it's like to vend the show alone, and see what types of things I can do to make sure that it goes as smoothly as it possibly can, you know. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a lot to figure out, but it's definitely something that has to be sorted through and something that has to be figured out. And so yeah, it's all the working pieces, you know, coming together to make what could be a really good show. I really love these guys. So these are some brackets that I got manufactured where you can mount them inside of your enclosure, and they're adjustable. I really, really like these. So far with shows, I haven't seen them do really well. I think it could be because of the way that I'm selling them, or I haven't really been focusing on them a whole lot. That's one of the downsides of having a whole lot of product at a show. Not really being able to give everything the attention it needs, especially when you're a seller like me, where I have a lot of different products, and some of it is things that people have never used or never seen before. So on top of having to give everything some attention so folks can know about it, it's educating people about the benefits of some of these newer products that other retailers, other reptile companies don't carry. So yeah, it's a really interesting balance I have to strike there. I haven't been able to use my 3D printer, and that's another thing I need to get on top of getting up and running. To be quite honest, a part of this 7-month window, a part of what I've also been dealing with is some pretty strong depression. So that's made it hard to just kind of keep up with daily life things. So definitely made it really hard to keep up with business related things. On top of that, I do have a full-time job. I'm a professor of graphic design. So, and that job in a lot of ways takes precedent over any of the other activities that I have going on. So just trying to be balanced with all of my things, it's made it really hard, honestly, with the depression to get back to where I want to be. But I am feeling, sorry, making so much noise. I'm finally feeling like I'm in a place where I can do these things. And I think signing up for this show has kind of been the kick in the butt that I've needed to really get things going. So, yeah, excited about that. Makes me happy to see the little signage that I make. Setting up for the shows is truly like artistic practice for me. And I really like making my booth itself, if it's a corner booth or a single table, I really like making it aesthetically pleasing. It's the designer in me. And also just making it as user-centered or human focused as possible, so when people come up they feel seen, they feel welcome, they feel like we want to interact with them, all of that good stuff, you know. So little stuff like this signage welcoming people goes a long way, honestly. I got everything sorted. It's time to start loading things in the van. The sun is crazy. This is my van behind me, my wall of patches, which I'm very excited about. It's all the national state parks, all this other fun stuff I've been to. And this van, let me show it to you. So she is a work in progress, but she's pretty outfitted for all my reptile shows. I have my sleeping area here, my countertop. I just had to pull this drawer out because it's not doing what it should be doing. All of this is still a work in progress. My bathroom, there's my toilet. They'll have a shower in here as well. But one of the most important design decisions I made was to make sure that I had a lot of open floor space. This makes it possible for me to pile all my things in when I have to haul stuff for the business or when I have to get things to shows. And the way that the bed is set up, it's on lifts, so it can lift all the way up to the ceiling, which gives me more room for packing things into the van as I need to. Over here is my electrical section. There's my battery. I'm still, again, getting everything ready, outfitted to go. This show, I'm going to have plants, and these guys are so beautiful. Look at these. Oh my God. Okay. These bins are some of my main setups that I use to get to and from shows. I hold a lot of my show gear inside of here, a lot of my product ready to go, and it makes it really easy. The one problem with these is that the bin by itself empty is heavy, but the bin full of stuff is disgustingly heavy. Now that I'm pretty much on my own with reptile shows for now, figuring out how to get these guys in and out of the van is really, really difficult. But, you know, whatever. I persist, I'll figure it out. As I mentioned earlier, I'm revamping my reptile enclosures, ones like this that are in desperate need of upgrade, moving my little guys over from the enclosures that they're in into new ones that have been revamped, and then breaking down their current enclosures and remodeling them, making them more usable and just a better living condition for my animals. This is my boy Patches. Hi. He's one of my favorite guys. I'm going to grab him. He's not going to love it. I know. I'm sorry, buddy. So I'm going to grab him and bring him over to his new house. So getting Patches set up in his new house, it really makes me happy to get him set up into an environment that, one, gives him a different type of way to hide. So I'll tell you a little bit about how this enclosure is designed. Underneath, this guy is a place where he can go and tuck away and hide. He could also tuck away underneath here. And underneath this rock, I have a cinder block. The cinder block has two compartments. I put this here to block it he can go in. I also fill those compartments with dirt. So if he wants to dig them out, he feels it, he can, and it can feel a little bit more natural for him. Also, underneath this stack of rocks, I have two other rocks placed side by side with a gap where if he wants to, he can dig out that crevice. So I've added in multiple different places where he can dig, create a sense of safety for himself. And then the branches are set up in a way where he has a gradient with his UVB. He did have that in his other enclosure. All my animals have that in their enclosures so that they can have a UVB gradient. So that's really nothing new, not really a new upgrade. And as always in my enclosures, the walls are set up in a way where they are climbable so he can utilize as much of that vertical space as possible. And right now, he's basking. I'm going to put the doors on his enclosure. I'm not quite done with this. I'm going to add some type of plant material in there. I'm thinking like maybe plant some arugula seeds, something like that, so that he can graze on it as he sees fit. Same thing here. And then in here, I have seeds for a plant that is native to their habitat. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's really high in calcium, so he'll be able to graze on that. In the soil here, I have arugula seeds and other plants planted. So those will grow up and he'll be able to graze on those as well. I have other grasses planted too. So I wanted this enclosure to be set up in a way that it can meet a lot of his needs, give him places to hide, but also give him natural opportunities to graze and feed himself in addition to the feeding that I do. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. Oops. So I learned a lesson at a previous show. I messed up one of these bins by trying to pull it into the van by the handle. It ended up bending, and then I couldn't retract the handle. And again, I don't want to do that. So I have to get this bin into the van in a way that doesn't require me pulling it in this direction, but pushing it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. I built the van using this 80/20 extruded aluminum. Maybe I can rig this up as a way to push these guys up into the van. I'm not sure. I'll try it. No, that's not gonna work. Put them back down. Oh, okay. Maybe if I put it up against this guy. Okay. All right, that feels like a little bit of progress. Lift with your legs, Summer. Oh my God. This is the closest we've been so far. Come on. Go. Yeah. One down. I'm so freaking proud of myself. Honestly, I was about to just go across the street and see if my neighbor was home, if I couldn't get this to work. But it worked out okay, at least for this one bin. I may need to go ask him for future bins, but as of now, one bin is in. Sweet. Two more to go. I won't bore you with watching me get the rest of these bins in this van. Just know that that was not the heaviest one. I'll get it done and I'll check back in with you guys. And with that, y'all, I'm finished loading up the van. This is honestly one of the best load ups I've done so far. Everything is so neatly organized inside the van. It's going to be really easy to unload, get things into the center. Now, I don't mean easy to unload as in physically easy to lift and move, but it will be logistically easy to lift and move. So Whew, happy about that. I'm gonna need some food before I leave out to go over to the fairgrounds to set up. I'll check in a moment. I'm packed up and ready to head to the show. It's raining outside. This is going to be a good one. I think I forgot my tripod, and honestly, I don't want to go back into the rain to get it. So I'll figure that out later. That is a problem for later summer that may be mad at right now summer. Let's get out of here. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't overwhelmed. I'm on my way right now. Sorry if my van is loud back there, but I'm almost to the convention or I don't even know what to call it, the building for the show to set up. And I just have so many feelings. On this drive here, I feel like I was gonna cry maybe once or twice, and I'm okay with just putting that out there and just being my vulnerable self right now. Um, this show, it really is a good one. I've only vended it one time before, but yeah, the crowd was great. It was well organized. Folks there really cared about making good decisions for their animals. I loved it. It really is a great show for me to vend for my first one back at it, you know? But I also just have so many feelings. I don't know. I really don't. I'm about to pull up and start unloading, finding my table, all of that fun stuff. Um, yeah, I'll get to it and check back in later. Let's do it. I'm finished setting up, and honestly, I really like my setup. It felt good to be back out there, getting everything pulled together, getting everything set up on the table, saying hi to folks. Someone came up to me, juice arthropods, and just was like so happy to see me, and that made me feel really good. Um, and yeah, just being back in the swing of things. I realized while I was setting up that one of the things I was struggling with is that, like, this is my first show after everything that happened last year. And I think that with the like loss of that relationship I was in, as well as the loss of my store, it just feels like I had two major failures. And I'm bouncing back from two really major, really devastating failures, you know? And so, and just like getting back in the saddle. So it's really dope to be welcome back in the way that I have been, just like, and just like chatting with folks and just seeing familiar faces and coming to the realization that I can still keep doing this. All the reptile shows I've done so far, I've vended with my ex, and I think there was a part of me that wondered, can I still do this? And though I don't know how tomorrow and Saturday are going to go, I'm feeling more confident around, can I still do this, you know? And I'm just really excited to get back out there and like, sure, I couldn't find some of my things. Sure, some of my product is expired and I can't sell it to folks, so it's a loss. And that's fine. I honestly, it's expired, but like, what does that really mean? So I'm gonna bring it home and use it with my own critters, which yeah, I just wouldn't want to sell it to other folks, just for the sake that I don't want them to get mad at me. And so yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited and yeah, I'm back in it. Yeah. All right. I'm sure I don't really know. I'm sure this video is long as hell. I'll just cut it off right now. Um, I'll my hope is to post this before the show. That today's Friday, setup day, so I'm hoping to post this before the show tomorrow. So post it tonight, and I'll post some other footage of the show and how things are going. Um, yeah. Oh, I'll do my signature. I'm gonna keep doing my signature, like, I'm Summer, let's talk reptiles. I didn't start this video with that, but yeah, it also just feels good to say that too. All right, I'm out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs up, give me a follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. I'm getting back into the swing of things with producing content slowly but surely. And yeah, you'll be seeing gradually more and more and more of me. Alrighty.